Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Monday night Zoom edition, and I've got a nice group here with me today. We've had a really good bump with Bitcoin over the weekend and today. So let's check out the Bitcoin chart. And can everybody see my my day chart on Bitcoin?
Yes.
All right, cool. So got this really wide channel here that's really not very interesting. So let's go to the 1 hour, 4 hour actually. This is a little bit more interesting because we've got this this trend line here that's hit multiple touches. 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like about 15 touches, and then Bitcoin broke through today, actually yesterday afternoon, and has been trending up. So what we're looking for the turnaround is higher highs, and this is the first time we've had this in the 4 hour chart, you know, since all the way back here in on May 18th, so nearly a month ago. So what's it going to do? I'm decided to play both angles on this. I think what it'll happen is we'll get a nice move up to say 41, 42. They'll probably retest down here again to around 36, 37, and then take off. So that's my prediction. So what I did was I bought 4 small positions today, this morning, but about 20% of what I would usually put in a swing trade position, just in case I'm wrong about the retrace. If it keeps pumping, that way I'll catch some of that action. If it hits my, you know, my blue rectangle here, I'll probably go in, you know, my usual amount for swing trades. So, but for now, I'm just in about 20%, waiting for a retest of this this broken trend line. So that's my how I see Bitcoin for now. There's been news, you know, both sides, some negative, some positive. I saw some FUD looking news today about, you know, the US government warning people about Bitcoin and investments and things like that. And it's like, it was just, you know, recycled crap, I thought. So nothing we don't know already. Again, I haven't been as in touch this weekend and today as I usually am. Does anybody know of any critical Bitcoin or crypto news out there that we haven't talked about lately? No, CJ, we want you to tell us that. Okay, but
I think it's what everybody's been predicting. I don't think it was any news article.
Yeah. All right, so it's nice to see us back in the 40s. We'll see if we can hold it. It's been just kind of hovering. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, just like hovering around this 40. We're up to 40. Well, it was a 40,500, then dropped to 40,200. So maybe it's going to go back down, you know, like I was talking about tonight, but hopefully not. All right, that's all I have on Bitcoin. Any questions on that before we move on to Altcoin Alert? All right. This is the Altcoin Alert software. Most of you guys are members of this. Some of you are not. The first thing I usually look at are the AA scores. I'm in a KAVA long-term trade now. Though I'm using this information, I use this AA score to find KAVA and to look at it, and it made me aware of some other charting I had done that's in this blue zone on my Fibonacci retracements. You know, we'd had this high over $8 back in April. The low from, you know, January is a little over $1, so we're kind of right in between. So my hope is that this pumps up in the next couple days and gets me a nice return. If you want to do a day trade on this, I would probably, if it's going into a dip sequence, like it seems to be, we're still pretty tight on the Bollinger Bands. I'm looking for a bubble, something like this. Some of this kind of action would be desired before getting in. You got a 1, 2, doesn't quite make a third dip. We get a MACD cross down here. And probably get in right about here if you see a similar pattern forming, in the next half an hour or so. So KAVA is a coin I've traded many times with success, so I do like the project. So that's all I have on KAVA. Any questions on that? We'll look at some other altcoin alert suggestions. Okay. Voyager.
Last week you might have said what the percentage you're looking for when it gets to be a tight band, because it can look tight and be a not very much of a percentage.
Right.
What was that number you said?
Well, I was making a distinction between a squeeze and a bubble, and right now on KAVA we're definitely in a squeeze on the 5-minute chart. It's only 1.57% between the bands. So 2.57 and higher is what you're looking for in a dip trade. And like here we're at we're over 4%. So that would be acceptable, an acceptable bubble to evaluate a dip trade if you get the 3 dips.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
I wasn't listening closely last week. That's why I had to ask.
It's okay. I think you emailed me and told me you had some connection issues, so you're forgiven.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Nano, DNT, and NPX. Not really interested in. Let's maybe see. I'll look at Nano. Not sure if I've traded this recently. Doesn't look like I've charted it on the day chart. No, I have. Okay, it's been a long time. I haven't charted this since January, but looks like it was over $17 during its height about a month ago. And we've seen many coins drop 50 to 80% from their highs in May or April, and then they're trying to get back. So we're 60% down. Obviously lots of room to move on Nano. On the 1-hour chart, it was over $7 as recently as the 7th. It's been trending down mostly, but it has had some recovery today. So I'd be looking for an exit around here. I'm sorry, around here, probably 720 or so if I was interested in this. On the 5-minute chart, it has been pumping. It's been mostly above the SMA line, since early this morning. We have a dip here and a dip here. So, it's not really close to a dip sequence yet. If I saw a couple more candles here, I'd consider this for a trend trade. I don't know. That's probably not enough to entice me to. The risk reward's a little off on this at this point, in my humble opinion. 15-minute chart. Yeah, I like retraces, so I'm looking for some recent highs. I'm not really seeing any that are recent enough for me. I think it would be kind of risky to go back to what I showed you on the hour, back to the 8th or 9th over $7. You could hit it, but the risk is a bit too high for me. So I'm not really seeing a trade here that I'd want to do at the moment. Okay, let's refresh. We looked at DNT last week, but the volume was kind of lame. I traded this a lot a few months ago. Yeah, and you see.
I actually was looking at DNT this morning, but I was on the wrong chart, didn't realize it.
Oh.
And I traded it, and then I realized I was on the wrong chart. I got out of it. I still kept my money plus a little bit more, not very much. But I was like, I got to be careful which chart I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think most of us have done that before. I know I have more than once. You know, I think I'm on a 5 minute and I'm on an hour or something like that. It's easy to do when you're looking at different time frames, but you know, the more experience you get, you'll be less likely to do that. So on DNT, it's up over 50 cents. It's down to like 15 cents now, quite a big drop. We did have a big spike out of nowhere up to 15 cents and dropped immediately. Okay, on the 5 minute, it's hanging around the SMA line, not liking that. If it pumps beyond that a little bit, got some resistance here, 1.24%, not very good. Plus, when you see these little horizontal lines with really no color to them, that usually means there were no trades made, so that's a sign of low volume. So not liking DNT. I do like KAVA though. So far we got one. And let's do some other sorts. We've been doing the Elder Impulse Daily sort. You know, this is the indicator they've added recently that shows momentum and volume. We've got Kusama. We've got a neutral AA score, just kind of normality here. Bullish on the daily sentiment, you might recall, is just like it sounds. Well, it's comparing the signals in 20 hours and 50-hour averages. So I usually like to see on the 1 hour projected range a value of 5% or higher. I don't have that. Short-term sentiment, not that concerned. And we're down.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When they put out those AA alerts, they say 48 hours.
Right.
Is that saying they're hypothetically thinking that anything that happens will happen within 48 or within the next 48?
So when does the timer start? Is that what you're asking?
No, what's the 48 mean? It says 48 hours.
Yeah.
On every blessed one of those.
Right. Right. It's
Just what's it mean? That's all.
Okay. Yeah, we're supposed to
Arbitrary.
Yeah, it's okay. The goal is to have a 3% or higher within 48 hours. That's what that's supposed to be. And you know, as day traders, 3% is pretty good. So
3%. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. I actually don't have those alerts set on my phone just because it was going off too much. So my preference is to look at these in the morning, usually 2 or 3 times a day, and see if they've changed or if there's new coins to look at. And then you know, I do my technical analysis after I see, you know, the scores, the AA scores. So
okay, thank you.
Right, you're welcome. Let's see, so where were we? Okay, we were going to look at Kusama.
Oh.
And again, don't always like these really expensive coins, you know, but so okay, we're yeah, I haven't updated this since April, but it didn't go that much beyond anyway. So we were here, dropped all the way down. It's like 67% in 4 days, brutal. And back up here to 531. Now we're down to 400. So this one's been kind of crazy. We had a recent high on the 9th, over $500. We're down to 417 now. So on a 5 minute, looks like we could be going into a dip sequence here. Got, you know, the squeeze here, it's bubbling out. It's coming down all the way from the top of the Bollinger Band to the bottom. And so we do have one dip, and we'll look for 2 more and then see if we can catch something going back. You know, Bitcoin's moving up nicely, and a lot of the alts are not following. I mean, if you see Bitcoin like this moving up, Kusama like this going down, same chart, 5 minutes, It tells me that, oh, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. We forgot to do that. Because what's happening most likely is Bitcoin is cannibalizing the alts for cash to buy Bitcoin. In our Bitcoin dominance, I like to look at the hour chart on these, it's pumping. So that's not good for the alts generally. A few will usually do okay, you know, based on certain things, but with the Bitcoin dominance moving up, you know, it was up quite a bit yesterday, dropped a little bit, and then we're hanging around 45. That's usually a score that'll indicate, you know, the alts are gonna get beat up a little bit. So, all right. So,
Do you feel like several people are, I mean, like tons of people are just sitting for a little bit longer before they
Probably.
jump back into the alts, maybe? How about
That-
gun shy?
that could be it too. I mean, you know, I had some mistimed moves myself during this recent drop and sort of recovery, and I'm sure other people are licking their wounds too. So, like I talked
Agreed.
about earlier in the program, you know, I went in at 20% on some swing trades of projects I like. You know, your basics. That's, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and DOT. So, and then I'm holding off because I want to see what's going to happen. I'm sure, just like you said, a lot of other people are doing that too. So, all right.
Did you cover ETH before I got on? I'm sorry.
No, actually.
Okay.
Let's
I
check
saw
that out.
your Bitcoin evaluation.
Yeah, no, that's helpful. Actually, I should look at Ethereum more often. So, quick look at the day. Wow, over 4,000. I remember that. And anyway, it's been hanging around between like 2,400 and 2,800 the past week or so. Hour chart's coming back. And then the 5-minute. You know, I don't day trade Ethereum very often. I did do something with leverage with it yesterday. I made a small profit, so it can be a good one. Yeah, as a day trade, it's already above the top of the Bollinger Band, so that would concern me. I would look for a dip sequence or try to catch it, you know, between the SMA line and the top of the Bollinger Band. Even then, it's only about 1%. Again, coins is expensive. I don't day trade very often. You'll get much better value and more movement with, say, something like HOT. You know,
This is in my, yeah, this is in my HODL bag, and then I got to learn to day.
Yeah, we do talk a little bit about, you know, swing trades and holding, but the focus of this, especially the beginning when we're going over Altcoin Alert, is going to be day trading, and then later I open it up for anything. And you know, I did mention some swing trades earlier just because I wanted to emphasize that I was just in on 20% of my usual amount on certain trades because I'm concerned about Bitcoin dropping again and retesting that trend line I showed earlier. So.
Agreed. Yeah.
When you say usual amount, do you have like a percentage of your total portfolio that is your usual amount?
Yes, it's more of a dollar amount in this situation, but you know, say, well, shoot, it's not that much. So on my swing trade portfolio, I was going in, I put a few trades in over the weekend really low, just trying to catch something. And then my usual amounts, usually between 250 and 500 per trade on my swing trade account. So I just bought $100 trades on this morning. So with the intent of eventually having a $500 position in, I don't know, 4 to 6 coins, depending on what I see. So, but when, you know, how I budget day trading is very different than that. But in the swing trading, I know that money's going to be out for a while, and you know, might catch something the next day. But on a swing trade, it's usually going to take a few days or a few weeks. So.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right. see, Altcoin Alert. Let's do a trading activity sort. Or no, wait, I want to look at theta fuel first. We've been looking at theta and TFUEL for the last couple of weeks. I traded theta a little bit over the weekend. I tried to short it. It did not cooperate. So, all right, so we've looked at this one a couple times. It has resisted, you know, along with this, its correlated token theta. It mostly ignored the Bitcoin drops. So yeah, it's had some really good movement to trade in and out of. You know, down 40%, then bounce back, almost all of that. You know, even more. So on the 5-minute, do we have a day trade here? Probably too high. Could maybe try to catch a trend here. And the candle action's pretty good going up. It's riding my 20-day moving average here. Top of the Bollinger Bands, 1.25%, coincides with some resistance here earlier today. So, you know, 1%, not thrilled about that, but I know I may have to adjust my goals. I'm still trading like it's March or April where everything was going up 5 or 10% a day. You know, I'm going to show you something on iCoinPro to show you that the coins are moving a lot less, especially the altcoins. With that in mind, a 1% might be, you know, a good target. But if I know I'm going for a low percent, I'd rather not do it up here. You know, I'd rather be down here in a dip sequence. I'm trying to get maybe 2 to 3%. 1% trades at the top of the Bollinger Band do not interest me. And okay, any questions on TFUEL? All right, Patrick's letting me know theta is up 20% over the last 3 days. Yeah, it really pumped on Sunday, and I kept thinking it was going to drop and trying to catch a short, and it never worked out. It did once, but yeah, it's hard to get mad at a coin for going up. So quit going up. In retrospect, I wasn't doing that particular strategy, that day trading leverage strategy correctly. So had a call with my mentor and he went, no, don't do that. So like I've said, I consider myself an intermediate trader, and I'm still learning and still making mistakes sometimes. So all right, let's move on. And we will do a trading activity sort on Altcoin Alert. And I was looking at Keep earlier. It's not on Binance. I think it's on Kraken. Didn't have that much volume, but I kind of like these values. I got fire on trading activity, looking for neutral or better on the AA score when I do this sort. This I like a lot. Upper values over 15%, though it's only up 6% today. So, and the Elder Impulse hourly is bullish. So our daily is bullish. I'm more interested in the daily than the hourly on this. So I think this is worth a look. It's actually USD pair on Kraken. Volume's not that great, but I wouldn't expect that on Kraken. It's a smaller exchange. Looks like we just missed this one. I was looking at this, about a half an hour or 45 minutes ago, and did one dip and then shot up.
I was looking at it earlier today and it didn't look good at all earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, it was down here earlier today. So it did punch through the SMA line in the wee hours and then drop down here. Maybe this is when you were looking at it, but it had this punch through the bottom Bollinger Band. It could have been a nice dip sequence, but it didn't go that far.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's probably about when I was looking at it.
But we've got a MACD cross, RSI pointing up. It's crossed the SMA line, and we got about 2.5% to the top of the Bollinger Band, which corresponds to some some resistance right here at the 545 level. So this one isn't bad. I might check this out after I'm done with you, or with this presentation, and I've got a small position in Kraken. I could maybe trade this, but so kind of like that one. Any questions on Keep? All right. 1 inch I looked at earlier, but we're very bearish now on the AA score, so that's a deal breaker for me. When I do the trading activity sort, I want neutral or better on that one. We also got bearish on the daily elder impulse. I think this value is high enough that Altcoin Alert thinks it's run its course for the day. Yeah, don't really see anything else here that interests me. We already looked at KAVA. So, and we looked at TFUEL. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to iCoinPro, unless you folks have any questions about Altcoin Alert and how I use it to locate and facilitate trades. All right. iCoinPro.
So in a nutshell, you looked at the 24-hour, and then you went and looked at the activity or whatever. I don't know what that thing was called. The second column from the right.
You mean on the
Neutral or better.
Trading activity.
Yeah.
Trading activity. There you go.
So on the trading activity sort, yeah.
That's your second one you look at. The first one you look at is Elder Impulse
Elder
Daily.
Impulse Daily, yeah.
Okay, so you go there, then you pick your coins, do your research, then you go to trading activity. Do you look at anything else?
I usually find at least 3 coins, which is all I want to really look at.
Okay.
From this source.
Pick your top 3.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm looking for 2 or 3. And Bitcoin pumped. All right.
Okay.
Cool. That's why that alert went off. So yeah, so my 3 sorts are, well, I don't have to sort the AA score, but I do recommend, reloading or refreshing.
Okay.
So I'm looking at a couple of these. I star these if I know that they're tradable in exchanges that I use. And for me, it's mostly Binance International with a VPN.
Okay.
But I'll also look at, something on Kraken, or I'm on CoinMetro recently. So, Bryce from CryptNation recommended Quant a few weeks ago, and I traded that on CoinMetro. So there's a few of those, but 90+% of what I do is on Binance. So I do the AA score, then I sort. If I don't find enough there, I will sort the Elder Impulse Daily, and look for the bullish values here and see if they're on exchanges I use. And then I look at, the AA scores, and then I check out the charts. And then, then trading activities, the third one I don't usually do. I have dabbled with the 1 hour projected range, sorting by that. Long-term sentiment, you can sort by that. Polkadot just showed up in here. I traded this today, still in it. No, actually, that's not right. I got out of that right before the meeting, had a nice 5% pop. So yeah, those are the 3 I use. So
okay.
Let's go over to iCoinPro. I've been looking at this RSI SPY more. You can sort it either way. You can go, high to low, and these are usually overbought coins, and most of them are going to be, a lot of them are going to be Bitcoin pairs, which I don't trade very much, but there are some. This just happened to, when I looked at this morning, it was all BTC pairs. Now it's mostly USDT pairs. So a lot of these coins that pumped up today are considered to be overbought, and so they could be shorting opportunities. If you either do the leverage tokens like I've talked about before on Binance and FTX, or you do leverage trading. If you're not ready for that, you're probably just going to want to wait until these drop and do some dip trades, which is what iCoinPro would recommend anyway. If I sort it by low to high, I'm looking for values 30 or below on the low to high, and 70 and above on high to low. So we don't talk about this one as much because our favorite is the Buddy coin crawler. Anyway, I don't really see any trades here because I don't see any values below 30. This Doge BTC pair is close, but yeah, nothing really useful there. So Buddy coin crawler, I sort this by the average low to the SMA line. Like I mentioned before, the SMA line is that pink line between the top and the bottom of the Bollinger Bands on the charts. And the average low is the 24-hour low for the coin. And I'm looking for values of 5% and higher. And last Monday, we had values 10, 15%. So we had a bunch to choose from because Bitcoin had been dumping. But since Bitcoin's been kind of trending up, and some of the altcoins have been following, we don't have the big values here. So I'm going to look at, did we look at key yet? I don't think so. And then some of these are, the volume's just too small, like this USD pair, this Atom USDC pair. These aren't even 1 million in daily volume, so I wouldn't look at these. I'm looking for preferably 10 million or higher on the 24-hour volume as a Binance trader. So, and this is the closest we have. It's less than 5%, but the volume, is halfway decent. Actually, second thought, I'm gonna look at this one, ATA. I think this is new because I want to talk about that too. I get a drop-down menu and it'll give me a trading view chart. But since I've not heard of this coin, I suspect that it's new to Binance. Well, not totally new. Yeah, kind of new. But it does have some candle action. It's dropped from its listing like they often do, and now it's starting to come back and then drop again. So this might be worth checking out. But then again, we had that low value in the column I just showed you. So we've only got a few percent and it's in a squeeze right now. Well, that's not bad, 4.79%. So if you catch this in a dip sequence, I'll give you an example. Well, I'm not really showing one. That would be a good example. This is close here. 1, 2, MACD cross down here. So this is the kind of thing you might get in here. Go to the SMA line for 3%. That's a pretty good day trade. If you're more ambitious, you go back to this resistance, maybe get 6%. Actually, that trade would have resolved in about 5 or 10 minutes had you been up at 2 in the morning. So, but right now, I don't want to see a dip sequence or a punch through past the SMA line before I got in this one. So, all right, goodbye ATS, and let's look at key. Quick look at the day. It had been about 3.5 cents. Now it's about 1.1 cents. Lots of room to move. And 1.75 cents as recently as the 8th. So this one has a way to go. It's moving though. It's punched through the SMA line, hit the top of the Bollinger Band. That's a little spooky. It's a bit risky, but at 6:30 this morning, it was around was over 1.2 cents. That would be a 6% trade. That's a really good day trade. So this one's intriguing. It's just later than I would like to get into. So might be one to keep an eye on, see if it, does, some of this, something like that. But all right. Well, that's about all I have for Altcoin Alert and Buddy Coin Crawler. Just we don't have ideal trade setups today. We've had some pretty good ones last few Mondays, but not so much today. Are there any coins you want me to look at on Altcoin Alert? Okay.
I actually had 4 successful trades today of using the iCoinPro.
Cool.
I had Solano, SNM, Filecoin, and Litecoin. Litecoin actually just triggered my sell just before we got on here.
Cool. And so you're getting like 1 to 3% on most of those?
I actually got over 4% on all of them.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's look at Solana. I like that coin. I traded a lot. And day chart. A little behind on this one, but up to $58 at its high, down to 19. Now it's working its way back up. Hour chart. Working its way, trying to get back over 40. 5 minute. Steve, about what time were you in this?
It was probably between 8 and 10 a.m.
Right.
Eastern time.
10
I can't remember
Eastern.
if Solano is the one that actually hit my 4% in like 15 minutes. It was either that one or the SNM. I can't remember which one.
Well, I think it's this one here. This move you probably scored from, because you got 1, 2, at least 2 dips in here. Kind of squeezy. Maybe this is where you got in, and then up to the top of the Bollinger Band is 1.28. Hang around a little bit longer. There's your 4%.
Yeah, I got in at under 37 and out over 38.50. That was my 4%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's this right here. So dip trades do work. Just got to be patient, wait for them. That's the hard thing. It's like if I sit down and trade, I want to trade now. I don't want to wait. Got other stuff to do. So that's where it's helpful to set alerts for certain, certain buy zones. I also set alerts on the RSI, not the MACD so much. And I've been doing them on the Bollinger Band too. So yeah, good stuff there. And yeah, LTC is up 8%. So mostly a green day on the charts today. Good stuff. All right. So any day trading questions or issues you guys want to talk about? Now's the time.
Yeah, question, CJ, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I know you use a couple different screens, but I only have one screen, and I use Binance US. And until recently, I was able to draw all my indicators on my Binance US charts because they use trading view charts.
Right.
So it's basically the same. But something happened recently, and I'm not able to use the drawing tools. So I started using trading view charts. But I can't trade directly on the chart. I have to switch back and forth. And I know you use trading view as well. Do you use any of the exchanges that you can link right into your trading view, or do you swap back and forth screens to do your trades and look back and forth, or how do you go about keeping a chart and your ability to trade on the spot?
That's a good question. It's a lot easier with 2 screens. So, you know, the screen you don't see, I've got Binance, FTX, and CoinMetro all open, so I can just jump over there if I see something I like on TradingView. And I prefer to keep those separate just to stay organized. Now, before I had 2 screens, I had a larger single screen, and then I would just have, you know, the tabs up here. You know, maybe one of the tabs would be Binance, and I would usually have fewer TradingView tabs open then. So, you know, I've got 3 different layouts. You know, I've got my basic chart, which you guys mostly see, and then this is my day trading approach. I mean, my leverage. So this 1 minute stochastic. This is something I've been tinkering with. So yeah, you can set up different, you know, different configurations of tools that you like. So, but yeah, on a single screen, you're just gonna have to move in between screens. I haven't done the I don't know if you can, you probably can do a TradingView direct connect to your exchange. I just haven't had to do that. So I don't think I really answered your question, but that's about all I know about that. Does anybody else have any experience with directing or directly connecting from TradingView to an exchange?
I'm like you. I use 2 screens, but I will say I use the free version of TradingView, which limits you in the different things you can put on there. However, you can actually program a script, and so I have basically the same screen you got up right now by scripting one long code so that all the different bands and everything show up.
Okay.
So that's a way to get around paying more if you don't want to for the additional tools. Obviously I still can't use some of the tools you can, but I can get all the lines I want on there.
Yeah, I've got the Pro Plus, but I don't pay for the, you know, the most expensive plan. I just don't think it's necessary, but I may someday if I, you know, some of my trading approaches change, but you know, at this point I haven't had to.
I think last time we were on, you talked about the Bollinger Bands, and so I went and found the script for that and added that to my thing as well.
Yeah, see, Tucker is saying 3 commas API to TradingView and exchanges, right? I've heard of 3 commas, and they've talked about it in CryptNation. So that service can connect to the exchanges with an API, you know, script. That might be the way to go if you want to do that. I haven't yet, but maybe in the future. Okay, and someone else chiming in?
Can you look at OXT, Orchid?
Orchid, OXT, sure. Yeah, it's on Binance. Day chart, lots of room to move, over $1. On the 10th, it was 38 cents. It's around 33 now. And it punched through the top of the Bollinger Band, drifting down towards the SMA line. Again, not seeing any trade here. Probably look for a dip sequence or some positive candle action.
Yeah, not do much of anything.
Yeah, maybe up here, try to get out. 2.5%, so not bad. But again, I don't see an entrance yet. I don't see an entry yet.
Nope.
Nope.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. I did want to go through something Patrick emailed me about. I want to show you guys something on TradingView. If you've got something on here in TradingView you don't want anymore, you can just hover and remove it by clicking an X and it'll go away, or you can hide it temporarily. Like, let's say I don't want my MA99, which is the green line, this green line to show up. I can either hide it. I think I can, yeah, I can also, yeah, hide to remove. I can right click on the actual indicator and it'll give me this menu and you can use it. Now, Patrick's got on his chart some volume indicators he wants to get rid of. So
I didn't realize they were listed there on the upper left, and I just deleted them all. So
all
you
right,
did it. Thank you.
did it. But they're going to show up again unless you save your layout. So this part's tricky on TradingView because whenever you change something that you want to show up in the future, you got to save that layout. But bear in mind, if I were to do that now, OXT would show up every time I open, say, a new chart from the Buddy Coin Crawler, or just if I just open a chart from somewhere, that OXT is going to show up. So I'll do that on a coin that I trade a lot or Bitcoin. So I'll give you an example. Here's my Bitcoin. It's my basic chart setup. And let's say if I want to get rid of the MA99, I don't want to see that anymore ever. I would click here and save it. And then future charts on CJ's basic chart layout would not contain, you know, the MA99. It's not gonna let me put it back.
Let's be clear on that. You're looking at one group of charts.
Correct.
A file called CJ's basic chart.
Right. If I want to,
If you make changes here, that only is that chart, right? Not
Yeah.
your other ones.
for example, if I load a different chart layout, say my 1 minute stochastic, that change isn't going to reflect on this.
It's a different chart file with a stack of charts.
Correct. So that's important to know.
Also, when you hover over that, if you on mine, I have some parentheses which shows the source code, or if you hit the 3 dots at the end, there's a choice in there for source code, and that's where you can program to add additional stuff. You have to be real careful though, because even if you copy and paste, a lot of things are named the same, so you have to rename some things here and there, take some lines out.
Yeah, it's a little beyond my programming abilities, but
that's where my degree is. So
no, I think you got the edge on us. Patrick might follow that, but you know, I'm not sure how.
And I don't mind sharing my code either.
All right.
So
yeah, that's kind of cool, and a lot of people do that in TradingView. This let's see what other layout I've got. This is a tool I'm working with called Market Cipher.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna go dark. But this down here, this RSI divergence indicator with alerts, this is some guy wrote some code and it's on TradingView. So I added it. Didn't even put alerts on it. So you know, bearish divergence and bullish divergence, that's probably beyond the scope of this, but it's good to have. And I like, when I'm using Market Cipher, I like to have this information in front of me. So anyway, but the point is, this was a free download in TradingView. Click here on the function, type in, you know, divergence. Yeah, see divergence indicator. And then here's a bunch of custom ones that other people have made. And then let's see which one. I wanted one with an indicator. I think this is the one I have. Divergence indicator with, but you know, you can tinker with these and see which ones you want to use, but. All right. Any other questions? We're on about 50 minutes, so we'll be wrapping this up soon, but all right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Was I supposed to talk about something before I stop the recording? I can't remember. I think Patrick's good with his trading view thing. So I think we're done for the recorded part. I'll hang around a little longer after I stop this. But those of you watching on the recording, thank you so much for attending. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much.
All right, and